Hi everyone, my name is Sandy Scott, and today I'm going to discuss how I implemented variability of practice into my practice design. Variability of practice is a term that refers to practice that is continually changing. Variability of practice is important to understand, to plan practice, and get the most out of an athlete's or a person's performance. It's said that practice variations of a task, or practicing randomly, help to create new schema and parameters, which lead to better retention and performance. The general findings of this factor show that varied practice has led to greater learning and schema construction over constant practice. Also, greater task variability has caused better transfer of the skill and better retention. The task I have focused on teaching in our practice plan is the greenside bunker shot in golf. A greenside bunker shot is a golf shot from a sand pit that is located next to or near the putting green. I will make a practice session which will be 4 weeks prior to a competition in which the learners will be participating. The practice session will be 4 hours in length with a 1 hour lunch break in between. Learners will be beginners who have only been playing golf for around a year, so they have a basic understanding of golf and are looking to improve their bunker shots. The majority of learners will be children aged around 12 years old. They are still in the development stage of improving foundational motor skills. The learners may not have high motivation to learn the golf swing required for a bunker shot, so I have adapted my plan to influence motivation through positive feedback and rewards. The goals of the task include being able to successfully get the ball out of the bunker and onto the green, creating a technique that will reduce likelihood of injury, and increasing shot accuracy. The environment will be outdoors and participants will be playing from a sanded bunker area. Wind, temperature, humidity, and potentially rain may play a role in making the teaching difficult. Next, I will discuss what I included in my practice design before explaining how I incorporated variability of practice into my design. So first of all, I will meet the children at the golf course before explaining a little bit about how our day is going to go. I will discuss that we are going to have a main focus of greenside bunker shots, but we will also be doing some other fun stuff in between. Once we get to the golf facility where we will be performing our golf shots, I will gather up the children and give a short demonstration of how to hit a bunker shot. I'm taking into account that the children will have short attention spans, so we'll keep the demonstration energetic, fun and short. Also, I understand that they are young and have more development to do in their foundational motor skills, so we'll keep it very simple. To keep the demonstration simple, I will focus on just 3 technical things: how to grip the club properly, how to use the club face properly, and the tempo of the golf swing. These are fundamentals when it comes to playing a successful bunker shot, but they are also easy to follow for children. In order to facilitate long-term learning and retention, I will utilize a random and varied practice session. I will add specificity of practice at the end to facilitate playing in a tournament. I'll throw in some other elements of golf, such as putting and chipping, to break up practice and better distribute it to help facilitate long-term learning. The first drill I will have the children do is to get into the bunker and hit bunker shots to different hole locations. The hole locations will be about the same distance away from where the children are hitting. Next, to mix up the session and help distribute practice, I will have the kids play a fun putting game on the putting green. Then we will return to the bunker and I will ask the children to hit to different targets and hole locations, but also varying distance. So the targets will be in different locations and at different distances. It is important while these children are going through these drills to get feedback. The children, like I said before, may not be highly motivated, so it's important for me to provide effective and positive feedback. Examples of this feedback include me saying great job and keep it up to the kids for successful trials to encourage their efforts and influence motivation. As there is plenty of time before competition, I will have children focus heavily on their technique to begin with. I will use verbal cues to produce internal focuses, such as keep your head down, which will better their technique. I understand that verbal cues which produce external focuses are better for performance, therefore I will transition into those nearer the time of competition. I may also use those verbal cues for drills where we are competing, such as in team competitions that we will do at the end of practice. I will use video and a device called TrackMan to help with feedback for the children. These elements help the children get quantitative feedback that makes them believe in what I am teaching them. To break up the session, I will have the children go inside for a water break and cool down from the heat. They will grab some lunch before heading back out for the remainder of the practice session. It's important to me for the children to focus on whole practice, as it will better facilitate competition. I will swing, if we swing the club as a whole, then we are replicating competitive swings, which will benefit the children when it comes to performing on the golf course. They will be way more confident in that environment if we practice in that environment. Next, I'll have the children practice from different lies in the bunker, which essentially means that the ball will be sitting differently in the sand each time, from trial to trial. This will help vary shots and become better for more learning, retention and transfer. They can begin by hitting to the same target and then vary further the shots by varying the targets also. We can further distribute practice by adding another water break and going to the chipping green for a fun team game. This will keep the session interesting for the children. Finally, we shall finish with a competition that simulates tournament play and exhibits specificity of practice. I'll put the children into 2 teams, and whoever gets the most points at the end wins a prize. I will throw the ball in the bunker for each child, so that the ball gets a random lie and sits in the sand differently for each person, and then I'll randomly choose a target for each child. They will get points for forever how close the ball is to each target that I have chosen for them. Each child will hit 1 at a time. The randomness of the target and lie will facilitate what it's like on the golf course. Also, the pressure of playing in a tournament that will be created through competition, playing 1 at a time and in front of a crowd. Now I will discuss how I implement variability of practice into this practice design. There were 3 main drills that I used which demonstrated variability of practice. The first was when I varied the target but not the distance when hitting the bunker shots from the bunker. The next was when I varied both the target and the distance of the target. And lastly, I used a drill which varied how the ball was sitting in the sand while varying targets at the end. These variations at both the target level and the setup level, so where the ball was lying in the bunker, both provide examples of variability of practice. These variations cause motor adaptations such as changing technique and swing speed. The importance of utilising variability of practice is that it's causing better retention and transfer of a skill than blocked practice or constant practice would. By varying practice, you are preparing your motor program for any distance and lie in the bunker when it comes to competing on the golf course. I feel like this practice plan, being 4 weeks in advance of the tournament, is preparing the children to compete, and they are learning to transfer these skills to the golf course. So thank you very much for listening to my presentation, and I hope you understand a little bit more about how variability of practice impacts children, and how it can be used in a golf practice plan. So thank you very much.